So this is what we are reclaiming. So today we're going to talk about this man right here, Mr. Bobi Wine. For those of you that don't know Bobi Wine, he's a very prominent politician in Uganda. This is a man that was running against President Museveni. So President Museveni is a man that has been in power for more than 40 years, you can imagine. And we've got Bobi Wine that have been trying to snatch power from these veterans. Bobi Wine has been missing in public since the elections took place on the 15th of January 2026. And since then, we hear the Ugandan government, particularly the son, who is a general in the army, has been hunting down Mr. Bobi Wine. Now, we all know that even during the time of the campaign, Bobi Wine's life was threatened. And what we're hearing in this new released message, Mr. Bobi Wine claims he has been in hiding, protected by ordinary citizens, members of the church, the clergy, and even some security officers who allegedly refused to carry out orders against Museveni. So he also says he's temporarily leaving the country to take his political struggle to the international stage. Now, obviously, there are those people that will look at him and say, well, he's just seeking attention from people, and I think he should just go back to his own country because he's putting the country at risk. But if you really followed President Museveni's son, General Muhoozi, this is the man that physically threatened Bobi Wine by sending vile tweets that have since been deleted, which I'm going to put up shortly in the course of this video. Now, obviously, this is something that is very, very scary. So without wasting much time, let us listen to this video.
By the time you see this video, I will have left the country for some critical engagements outside Uganda. And at the right time, I will come back and continue with the cause. I thank all of you fellow Ugandans who have concealed and protected me for all this time when the regime was looking for me. Those of you who fed me, those who clothed me, and those who offered me shelter. I will not mention your names, but God bless you. I thank the men and women in uniform who defied the illegal orders and instead of arresting me, gave me the information that I needed to keep safe. I thank the priests who prepared mass for me and supported my spiritual life when I needed it most. I thank my family for staying strong in these tough times. I want to thank in a very special way the people of Uganda for your prayers, for your support, and your encouragement. You have once again demonstrated that once you believe in something, especially an idea of liberation, you will contribute the little that you have, including risking your lives and your families to protect those that are fighting for that idea.
Now, there's no doubt that this guy put up a very good campaign. You know, I mean, if you just look at the campaign, the mobilization structures that he had, you know, he really put up a lot, and that was very impressive. I mean, to run against somebody that has been in power for more than 40 years, it's not an easy thing. Obviously, you've got President Museveni, he's got all the machinations, he's even got his son, General Muhoozi, that was a very fierce critic of Bobi Wine.
Across borders, Uganda's Chief of Defense Forces General Muhoozi Kainerugaba faces backlash after he went rogue on Monday night, issuing death threats to National Unity Platform presidential candidate Bobi Wine following the controversial election in which his father, President Yoweri Museveni, was declared winner. In a series of posts, some of which were deleted on Tuesday, General Muhoozi claimed responsibility for the deaths of 22 people over the past week and threatened to continue the attack.
Now, talking about the son, General Muhoozi, now a lot of people will know this is a very fierce man, and he's been tipped by a lot of people that one day he might become the president of Uganda. Now, there's this particular message and all these tweets that he put up, and I think they've since been deleted. He put it on his X, which is formerly known as Twitter. He did say, I can't really get the date on that particular tweet, but one of the tweets that he did say, I'm going to put it up on the screen, he says, we will kill on sight all NUP so-called foot soldiers until Mzee says otherwise. Obviously, Mzee means a big man in Swahili, in reference to President Museveni. So it means in his own accord, without Mzee's intervention, without the President Museveni saying otherwise, he was willing to actually unalive this person, Mr. Bobi Wine. So that was one of the tweets that was deleted. So this man went further to say, we have killed 22 NUP terrorists since last week, and I'm praying the 23rd is Kabobi. So meaning Ka obviously means it's a way of to demean somebody, but it's a very clear reference to say that he was targeting the 23rd person of these killings to be Bobi Wine. So you can see this is somebody that is in the military, abusing his authority basically and threatening, putting up a tweet to say that I'm praying that the 23rd is Kabobi, meaning that the 23rd is going to be you. I mean, how can somebody not fear for his life in this instance?
Now, this is why I'm hiding, and that's why I'm leaving the country for a while. We decided to fight back, not only within the country, but also internationally. And among the things that we hope to pursue are targeted sanctions against Museveni and his enablers. We also want those countries that are funding Museveni's killing machine to stop, and if possible, to completely cut ties with the regime in Uganda. In the recent days, we've been speaking on international platforms, although we've been doing it virtually. Now, we are going to be doing it physically. And on that note, I want to notify the comrades and leadership in the diaspora that I will be with you in the coming days. Let us prepare to lobby, to mobilize, to organize and push back against the violations in Uganda. In my absence, my Deputy President, Dr. Lina Zedriga, who has just been released from prison, will be acting president. After doing my work on the international platform, I will return back to my country and let the regime do whatever they want to me in full view of the world. After all, I've not committed any crime. Running for president is not a crime. For now, I ask you, comrades, to remain firm, to remain united, and to keep the hope alive. People power, our power. Our power, people power. Fellow Ugandans and friends of Uganda all over the world, they have raided homes of my comrades searching for me. I mean, just 2 days ago, they raided the home of my personal assistant, Comrade Don Sheriff Naja, and when they didn't find me or him, they abducted his wife, and she's still missing up to the present. Good enough, all this was caught on camera. You have seen what happened to the 9 police officers that were assigned to me by the Electoral Commission during the campaigns. They were arrested, they were detained, and now they've been dismissed from the police force with disgrace, apparently because they did not aid the regime in spying on me and preventing me from leaving my house on the 16th of January, even when their assignment was over and they were officially withdrawn on the 15th of January. Now, I want to say this again to you, fellow citizens. We won the 2026 presidential election. We won it, and Museveni rigged it. And that is why, out of shame and lack of legitimacy, him and his son are searching for me everywhere. They raided my home on the 16th of January, but I was able to escape from them. A few days later, they conducted another raid. And in this raid, they assaulted my wife and family members. They vandalized our house. They stole various items and occupied our home. And up to now, our home is still surrounded by the military.
Now, there are those people that might say, obviously what Mr. Bobi Wine is doing is not the right thing. I think it's one thing to sort of like fight the fight within the country. But the moment you take the fight internationally at the global stage, I think that changes the tone. And obviously, it's very much understood for Bobi Wine to go on the global stage and to try and seek help from the international community. Obviously, this is very much understood, but you will get those critics that will say, I think the moment you start going out there to seek for international help, there are those people that may not be genuine and may want to come in and destabilize the country. And obviously, if you look at President Museveni, this is something that he will probably not take very lightly. I mean, I remember when I was growing up myself, my mother always used to say, every time you quarrel amongst yourselves, try not to quarrel in the presence of other people, because the moment you do that, other people take advantage of the situation. And I think this is where it becomes very risky, like somebody like Bobi Wine to go out in the international community to try and seek intervention from those people. Yeah, so, but again, you can't really blame him, because at the end of the day, his life is in danger. and it's very well documented that his life is in danger, and particularly from Museveni's son, General Muhoozi, who's put up all these tweets actually threatening him in the first person, saying, I will actually. A lot of people will know this is a very fierce man, and he's been tipped by a lot of people that one day he might become the president of Uganda. But whether or not, that is what some people might say, the truth of the matter is this man's life is in danger. So how he navigates all of this is something that a lot of critics, a lot of people will be following through and see how this is going to end. So until then, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.